Hello ladies, my name is Karina, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the law of attraction, and more specifically a story of how it got me my modeling contract back when I used to model a few years ago. I am a huge believer of this and kind of manifestations and doing daily things to kind of uplift your mood, control your thoughts, and you don't have to call it law of attraction, you can call it whatever you want, but the fact is it works, and it's always better to be in a good mood and aim towards your goals. And doing these specific things led me to so much in my life, and I continue seeing things manifest. It's really cool because I've noticed some things recently. I pulled up my vision board to the place where I now live, to the places I've been. It's very specific, and even articles of clothing that I want just to reappear that I never thought I would get. It's a lot of really wild stories, but I did want to share with you my modeling experience. Not the whole experience, but just kind of how I manifested a modeling contract in the city of Los Angeles. I just thought it was really cool. And around that time, I was manifesting a lot of things. I didn't really know too much about how the whole process worked. I just knew that I wanted these things and I had a really positive outlook on it. And at the same time, of course, I was aiming towards them in my actions. But it's just not even the fact that things come true, but the fact that they come true in these funny, unexpected ways is what makes things interesting. And that's how it's been for me for pretty much everything, in terms of my career, in terms of my traveling, just life experiences, financial outcomes, anything like emotionally wise or financially wise or just for fun. There's been fun things that just come into my life that, you know, you think about and it happens, and it's quite amazing. So the story about the modeling, I've always done it for quite some time, especially from a little age, but I live quite close to Los Angeles and I wanted to get signed to an agency. It's just something I've always wanted to do, and I thought it would be a lot of fun. So what I did was I was building up my portfolio. I had jobs in the past and I was taking kind of building up the portfolio, right? You have to have kind of a variety of photos in there. So I was doing this. I had no idea how you can get signed. I believe right now you can submit pictures online. That's how it's always been, I think, where you can mail in your kind of Polaroids and mail those in and see what happens, right? You're just normal pictures. And so I didn't do that, but I was building up my portfolio and I was thinking, okay, this is something fun and this is something I really want to do, so I'm gonna do it. And I wanted to be with a credible agency in Los Angeles, so that was kind of my goal. I didn't really think about how it was gonna happen. I just knew I wanted it to happen. So I was building up my portfolio, and at the same time, I always heard about law of attraction. My mom actually got me to watch The Secret when I was in middle school, so I knew back of my mind, and perhaps I've been doing it subtly in the back of my mind, and most people are. They just don't know what it's called, or they give it a different term. But I was really big into writing down my goals and aspirations, and I still do that every day in this notebook. Actually, I've been through quite a good amount of notebooks. My friend actually gave me this one. It's written in Russian and it's interesting, but it doesn't matter. I just write them down anywhere, and I had these visions at that point of my life. And the actual funny story is that I wasn't kind of seeking in it in a really aggressive way where I was worried or stressed that it wasn't gonna happen. I just thought it would be a really fun thing. It was kind of in a transition period of my life where I just graduated the University of California, Irvine, and got my biology degree, Bachelor's of Science in Biology, and I was considering going to med school. That was always on my priority. Now I'm a business owner. That's not what I do. I don't actually model anymore either. It was just for a period of my life, especially throughout college and throughout high school and then after college. But mostly now I'm focused on business. I run my own business on Amazon, and I'll also teach others to sell on Amazon. I have a second channel and everything. I'll put it down in the description if you're interested. So that actually manifested as well, but I'll save that story for another time. So what actually happened was, there's a way you can get into the modeling industry is you know, build up your portfolio, submit your pictures to agencies, and hope to get an interview and a call time and to go see the agents. Or you can get scouted as well, which means someone sees you and they say, hey, you should be a model, come meet with our agency, right? So I at that time, I was building up my portfolio. I thought it was a lot of fun. I included some of my old work in it, some of the recent pictures I took that was kind of in line with the criteria. And I didn't think too much of it, you know, because I always wanted to do it and I just put it in the back of my head. I attended, I think it was a Saturday, and there was an event in LA. It was like an opening, or a grand opening of something, right? So I attended it. Last minute, I decided to go, and I was contemplating, should I go, should I not? And I'm like, you know, this sounds fun, I should go. So I got there, and I was there, I was mingling, talking to people, and then this woman comes up to me, and she starts talking to me. You know, we start talking about everything, and then she actually turns out to be a modeling agent working with a modeling agency in Los Angeles. So she actually scouted me. She's like, hey, you know what? You have a great look. Send in your portfolio. I'll send it to our department, and we can go from there. And that was crazy. I still didn't think too much of it. I'm like, this is interesting, because it's not like I was seeking it actively and going for it and kind of like going to all these castings and open calls and submitting my thing. This is around the time when I'm still building my portfolio, putting it together, just kind of like being hot. It'd be really fun to do that. Yeah, so anyways, I'm like, okay, sounds good. I got the contact, I submitted all my info, and then I get an email of, we'd like to kind of see you and, you know, go to our offices, show us your portfolio, and yeah, meet with all the agents and stuff. And at that time, I already had my portfolio, so there we go. It was all ready, and the timing of it was so perfect because it was all put together, it was all great, and I was just so excited to go to that. I remember I parked my car, I walked in, I was wearing like a black leotard's such a weird word. I was wearing like a black, you know, whatever, it's a leotard, right? And then just jeans and booties, just casual outfit, no makeup, still blonde hair, yeah, just normal look. Got my portfolio, and they said, we would love to sign you. And I walked out of that building being just so excited. It was a really fun feeling of excitement, of knowing something is right. And this feeling came many times in my life. One of them was when I started my business. It was when I started YouTube. Even with this channel, it just feels right. It feels fun. It feels enjoyable. It feels lighthearted. I guess that's the best way to describe things. Every time I felt lighthearted, optimistic, and kind of enjoyed doing something, that's when everything seemed to work out. But when you're trying to push on something and being like, I need this needs to work out, that's when things don't really work out. And that's really how life works. If you are prepared for it mentally, then it just easily comes. And the thing with this is that it came in a really, really fun way. I wasn't expecting to, you know, I didn't even think that far yet. I was just having a good time, putting everything together, kind of wishing for it. And it's so interesting because some would say it almost fell on my lap. In a sense, that is true, because the opportunity itself did fall on my lap, but I was preparing for it with like physical photographs and experiences way before that without even knowing. So when you're in that mindset of kind of wanting something, and wanting it not from a place of kind of negativity, but from a place of positivity, that's when things start to fall into your life. And that's how that happened, right? So it's interesting that your mindset also inspires others into actions, because if you think about it, so many things could have gone not wrong, but just taken a detour for that not to happen. I could have not gone to that event. She could have not gone to the event. We might have not crossed paths. We might have not even brought up that topic, right? It's just, I might have not even been ready to accept that. It's just so interesting, and that's why it's so much fun. And I had so many experiences like this, and that is why when I do my daily meditations and writing down things in here, I also love listening to Abraham Hicks on YouTube. I went to her event, how long was it? Before this whole situation happened. I believe it was 3 months ago in Long Beach. I went to her event. She's amazing. So she's really someone that really gets me on track with that. But I do love kind of imagining my life how I wanted. And I pulled up a recent dream, not recent, I made a dream board 2 years ago And there was pictures on there that literally were like replicas of the place I live in now and of the places I've traveled to, and it's just mind-blowing. I mean, the details of those pictures, I'll show you, maybe that's a story time for another video, but the details in those pictures is just crazy. I mean, if you want to say it's fake, you haven't tried it yet, but you need to kind of do just do your journaling in a positive way, do the meditations, even if it's just listening to a long stretch of kind of peaceful music. You can literally put in meditation music into YouTube and just lay there for 15 minutes. You just feel this lighthearted spirit. And I just really like to live my life this way because I think it is responsible for bringing everything into my life. People misinterpret this. They think that you have to just sit there and not do any effort or work and things just magically fall on your lap. But the thing is, when you are in a positive state of mind and your heart feels lighthearted, that's probably the best way to describe the feeling. You start to get inspired to do other actions, right? You're not doing it because it's a drag. You're doing it because you want to do it. And that's why I even started this channel, because it was just a spark of imagination, a spark of something that I see being huge and kind of really uplifting to women. So subscribe and like this video if you haven't. And I see a big future, and there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to be big. And exactly the same with the businesses I've started. It was just, it's almost like it came out of nowhere. It started from just the thought, a really positive, lighthearted, exciting, inspirational thought that over time grew into something that I've always wanted and literally set the direction for my life. I mean, I could do a whole nother video about this, about how I manifested my travels, about how I manifested more financial stability. There's a lot to talk about with this situation, and I know that people love law of attraction videos. I've watched a good amount of them as well. But that's just my modeling story. I probably will make an in-depth modeling experience video. It was a fun time. You know, life is meant to be fun. It's meant to be enjoyed, even in the moments where you don't think you have everything that you want. It's not about that. It's about enjoying the journey along the way, and it's about looking back at those times and being like, hey, you know what? Life is great at any point in time. So that's gonna be it for this video. Do like the video and subscribe, because I post videos about money, woman, and power, and class, and elegance, and financial stability, pretty much anything and all of the above. I also have an Into a Milli Lady Club Facebook group where us powerful ladies just converse about topics of life and topics of financial stability. So all of that is linked down below. It was fun chatting with you today, and I will see you in my next video.